Back Row Ministry, the world premiere, Mr. Marky coming at you live and direct from the Key Optimo Studios. Not feeling too great today. Got to go out car shopping after I leave work because some horrible driver decides that they don't know how to put a car in reverse and totaled my wife's vehicle. So it's fun of car shopping. It's fun in the summer, but it's something you don't want to do in the winter, I'll tell you that much. So we'll be doing that today. So, news. Gary, good news. So, is R. Kelly being used as the distraction? And we always talk about, distractions that the elite like to use in order to pass either an agenda or to get a bill passed or to funnel some money somewhere. And remember now, we're in the middle of a government shutdown that is being overshadowed by, R. Kelly pissing on people. And, TV shows that are now just focused on putting R in jail. Now we're at putting R in jail mode. For what charge, we have no idea, but is it just a distraction? Is it just a way to take the public, especially the gullible public, because there's a public of African Americans that we be having true life situations going on right now. That border wall and taking tax dollars to pay for that border wall is actually a bill right now that's on the House floor that's trying to, in discussion, we'll bring this up in discussion, not using taxpayer money to pay for that wall after Trump said the Mexicans were going to pay for it. So there's a bill actually on the House floor right now that is discussing the voting on not using taxpayer money for things like that. But right now, in the midst of government shutdown, they have several bills on the table that probably have something about the wall in there. This guy here driving reckless with cars. But probably some of those bills that they're planning on pass got some funding for that wall. And you guys got to remember, that funding comes out of taxpayers' dollars. That fund is going to come out of you and I's pocket to build this wall that the Mexicans were supposed to build. And the best way to pass legislation in America that you really want to pass and you don't want any kickback is to start a major distraction. And we talk about self-sacrifice and choosing at specific times to self-sacrifice a person. So let's look at this R. Kelly self-sacrifice and how it was dropped. Going into the end of the year, from Christmas and the New Year's, they were kind of flirting with the idea of government shutdown. Around that time, we go into government shutdown. We're a few weeks into the government shutdown. We see the bickering about the wall. Everybody's, pretty much focused on what's going on with this wall. That's the big talk with black folk. Next thing you know, on January the 3rd, they dropped the R. Kelly surviving the R. Kelly series, and black people's mind goes from focusing on taxpayer dollars to go to a wall to did Kelly pee on somebody. Totally were distracted by Lifetime. And this is kind of what they do. They do this 5 days before the man's birthday, so they know they'll keep the interest going. They're really hot and heavy in the story. And while they do this, they continue to talk about taking government tax dollars to pay for this wall. And before you know it, they'll pass a bill that'll have all sorts of money allocated for this wall, and you and I would have paid for it. But are we worried about that? No. We're too worried about R. Kelly pissing on people. And that's the problem with black folk. Black folk get caught up so quickly in the bullshit that they don't ever get caught up in the true ideas of politics. That's why they're so easily manipulated by Democrats and Republicans, because they really don't focus on what is the true nature of politics. The true nature of politics is compromise. Compromise and the illusion of we'll give you what you want. But it's all based upon illusion. The biggest illusion is that Congress doesn't do anything. Congress is always writing bills and discussing bills and passing bills. We just too stupid to go on the website to see what these bills are, what they entail, What's the text? Because they all got text. What is the text reading in the bill? We don't do that. We don't do that because we too busy looking at Lifetime and surviving R. Kelly and investing on somebody. As African Americans, we need to decide what matters the most. Things that have to do with our everyday livelihood and the livelihood of our children, or investing in these idols that have nothing to do with the livelihood of our children. What you should do when it comes to that is protect your children for some of this BS known as fame. From these predators out there who offer your children money and at the same time rip their soul from their bodies. That's what we need to do. But we need to really start looking at the things that affect us the most, because while we're over here talking about, people that don't give a damn about us, that, I don't know Robert Kelly. I ain't never met the motherfucker day in my life. The only thing I know, he makes some good music. Am I gonna stop listening to his music? No. If that's the case, I would have stopped years ago when the shit and the allegations first came out. Motherfucker went to court. He's not guilty. If he gets arrested again, you got proof he's guilty. Okay, lock his ass up. That's what I say. Lock his ass up. But as far as me getting vested in that bullshit, no. So, watching the distractions, watching how they run the distraction and who they focus the distraction on. And it's usually the most outraged people at Trump, which is the African Americans right now. Every 5 or 10 minutes, anywhere you go, the African American got something to say about Trump. But right now, they got their mind totally off of Trump, and they got them totally invested in a bunch of crap that we could have deaded as a community years ago just by not fucking with the man. All you gotta do is stop fucking with him. Way back when that tape came out, the African American community had put their foot down and stopped fucking with him, this situation would have been over. Because we had the information. People giving you the information, but it came from other African Americans. The minute it come from Lifetime, like I said, African Americans, the same folk talk about the white man this, the white man that, jump on the gravy train and Lifetime wouldn't lie to us. Them the main suckers that'll lie to you. Them the main suckers. They had a bunch of liars on a documentary sitting there lying and acting like they didn't know anything about what was going on. Everybody in the entertainment business and industry knows what's going on and who's doing who. They know what the hell is going on. Majority of them are sworn to secrecy. They can't get on the TV and tell secrets. They'll be killed for that. So stop allowing these things to distract you. This is just a distraction. And it's my opinion, is a distraction to take our mind off of them taking your taxpayer dollars, which they plan on doing, to build that wall. To build that wall. Because they already got, the dumb Trump voter already. They distract them with racism. That's how they distract them. That's how they take their mind off of something that was said and then bring you back to their reality of y'all was going to pay for it anyway. But they use racism to kind of pass it. See, you don't want the Mexicans over here. They want to take your job. All this BS. They get heated up about it, and the next thing you know, they co-sign that it's okay for American taxpayers to pay for this wall. And then they got one bill where a guy is trying to pass a bill on the House floor, whereas you can ask Americans to donate to build the wall to stop Mexicans from coming in. It's just a bunch of, like I say, if you go on the legislation slide, House bills, Republican bills, just put in bills in your search page. It'll show you all the legislation that's up for discussion right now, the stuff you'll see. But that's the type of stuff that I'm into. While they do distractions like this, I'm always watching to see what they're trying to do, what they're trying to do next. I pay attention to my enemy. I'm not paying attention to the bullshit my enemy throws at me and tries to get me concerned about, because that's not what I should be concerned about. Remember now, that wall is not going to be to keep people out. That wall is going to be to keep us in. Remember that. Mr. Motley, Back Row Ministry. Peace.